Morning, everybody. This is Coffee with Chondra Rankin, straight out of the Heartland. And this morning I'm going to get a little bit deep, so just be prepared to go on that ride. I'm taking a couple of thoughts that I am springboarding from yesterday's wake-up call that Brian Finale had. Just a couple of thoughts he said. But most of this I took from a blog post actually that I wrote. And it's just kind of thinking outside of the norm. Sorry about that light. Just kind of right in there. I think pretty much everybody's seen the movie The Matrix, and I'm going to talk about a couple of quotes from out of that. Because really that is a mind-blowing movie, and the analogy of that to life is, I think, fascinating. So if you remember the part where Neo is tasked with figuring out if he must take the red or the blue pill, and he's told, this is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed, and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill and you stay in Wonderland, and I will show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Well, we all know that, you know, getting out of the Matrix wasn't exactly a wonderland, but would you rather be, you know, think that the world is something it is and not really have it be that? And be ignorant because ignorance is bliss? Or would you rather take that red pill, so to speak, and open up your mind a little bit? I would like to take the red pill. In fact, I've already gone down that road. I try to challenge everything, and that's the way to grow and find out who you are. I told you we'd get deep this morning. So you have to open your eyes. But once you do that, you can't go back. You can't unsee it. You can't unknow something. You can ignore it, but you cannot unknow it. But don't believe everything you know. All the beliefs that you have might have stemmed from something that happened, I don't know, in childhood or something. You're told, well, this is the way it is, and you never challenged that because you were told that by an adult. They're the authority figure. But it might not actually be truth or correct. So challenge those. Challenge your own beliefs. It's uncomfortable sometimes, and that's okay because that means you're growing. I'm trying to get a little warmer in here because we had our first frost last night. It's a little chilly. It's okay to be uncomfortable. It's actually better than just being complacent. So, I don't know, probably a month or two ago, we did a personality test at work, and my personality is ISFP, which to me is a little more entrepreneurial mindset anyway, because that personality type is often original and unconventional. Hello ladies! Hi Marissa, Jackie, and Sarah. Jackie, I'm going to mention you in just a second actually. I'm going to tell a little story. Don't worry. But thinking unconventionally, often do the opposite of what you're told. A lot of times if I'm told specifically, you have to do this, my brain just clicks, I want to do the exact opposite. And I was walking one day with Jackie and Bridget. We were downtown in Cedar Rapids, and there was a little walking path down there just north of Quaker, and the roads, or the walkway, split for a moment, and there was a sign that said, stay right. Well, immediately I wanted to go the other way because I was being told not to. My personality is awesome. Thank you, Sarah. So is yours. Morning, Jill. Honey pie. So, literally the second my mind hears you can't do that or you have to stay to the right, there's a click in my brain that says go to the left. I don't know why. And that day that we were walking, Jackie's like, you're such a rebel. It's not really because I'm being rebellious. I don't know. Maybe my mind is and I don't even know it. But my point is really any personality type can think differently, not conform. Looking at your personality and traits, you can, even though your traits are an inherent certain way, Jill, we are a lot alike, and I'm pretty sure my mom has told me that before. Regardless of what traits you have, you can tweak them and get to a place where you want to be. Just because, well, for instance, I am a natural introvert. That does not mean I can't do extroverted things. That's just inherently what my personality is. So you can change that. If you want to do something, you can do it. Just a thought process change. If anybody's read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that has been out forever, and it is really a great book because it is all about this mindset change. Good morning, David. It's a mindset change. It doesn't mean that Rich Dad Poor Dad, the rich dad is rich and the poor dad is poor. It's the thinking. Rich Dad has an entrepreneurial mindset, and the poor dad has the 8-to-5 mindset. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a job because we all need a job to live, to get money. Good morning, Erin. We all need a job at some point, probably. But, you know, do you want to go out and do something that you love to do, you have passion about, or do you just want to stay in your 9-to-5 job? And we need people in 9-to-5 jobs. That is a fact. So it's not a bad thing. It's just what you want. One part of achieving that mindset, and this is one thing that Brian brought up yesterday, you have to change your language. If you find yourself saying, oh, I'm too young to do that. I shouldn't be overcoming these obstacles right now. I'm too young. Or I'm too old. I'm too old. I can't learn that. Can't teach a dog new tricks. You're talking yourself out of it. Out of growing and learning. Or I'm not techie. Trust me. Actually, funny, because a friend of mine just sent me a message recently and was like, you're so techie now. I won't say who that is, but it was recent, last month or so. I kind of am to a point, but mostly I can follow directions. If I don't know how to do something, and there are things daily I do not know how to do, I Google it. I don't know what people did before Google, honestly, because I get so much information from that. I know there were other sources, but I Google it. If you don't know how to do it, that will be able to tell you, or find somebody that knows how. So don't say, I'm not techie enough to learn something. David, yeah, great point. Your dad is 89 and more computer savvy than me. It's just what you want to learn, and sometimes you have a little more propensity to do that, but doesn't mean you can't learn it. So that's awesome. Your dad sounds awesome. I have never met him before. So don't stop yourself, hold yourself back with that language. I'm not, I can't, I'm trying. No, because you're holding yourself back. And you have nobody to blame for that but you. You have to overcome it. And the thing is, I believe we're here to help other people. We're meant to do that. We're placed on earth not to be mediocre, to coin a phrase, but we're here to help other people. And we can't do that if we hold ourselves back. Put down the thoughts, and this again is a thought from yesterday morning. Put down the thoughts of, I'm not enough. Media tells us a lot of things that aren't true. But you know what? You have to shut that off. Shut off the noise and just ignore it and know. In fact, I was chatting with someone last night from Australia, and she was saying that basically she doesn't care what other people think because it is her life. And I thought her attitude was awesome, because once you realize, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let somebody hold me back. That is a huge step in the right direction. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. Powerful beyond measure. And I'm not going, the whole ego thing. I do believe that God gave us gifts to use, and we're supposed to figure out what those are and utilize them. But if we do that, if we figure out what our gifts are and utilize them, we can be powerful beyond measure. Beyond what we ever thought we could do. It's the fear of doing something you don't know. In fact, fear is a place we're all kind of comfortable. It's a comfortable place to go. You can go and hide. You don't have to do something new. You can stay in that place of fear. I'm not staying in that place of fear. It might be comfortable. And yeah, you might have setbacks, and you can go back and, back to that mindset. But if you're constantly working on switching it over, that becomes your new habit. So put down the thoughts of, I'm not enough. Find out who you are. One step, and I'd done this before, but like I said, the personality test, it's awesome because you answer all these questions, and then it spells out, well, you fall into these categories. And I don't think categories should define you, but it's good to know as a starting point where you are, what your tendencies are, how you communicate with other people. And it's really interesting to me, because I was reading the descriptions and I'm like, oh, yep, that's me. And I would even laugh out loud because some of them were so true. Hey, Kayla. So maybe start figuring out what your personality is, so you can figure out, you have to figure out who you are and what you stand for. Who you are and what you stand for. And I was watching a webinar last night, and this was a huge question that Diane Hockman brought up, which was awesome. Who are you and what do you stand for? Once you figure that out, she said, you can rule the world. And I believe that in the sense that once you figure out those two things, nothing can hold you back. I mean, it takes a while to figure out sometimes, because how often do we ask ourselves that question? Who are you and what do you stand for? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about The Matrix. Love that movie because, like I said, it's so eye-opening. And I love the scene with the little kid sitting on the floor, and he has the spoon. And Neo is talking to him. And the child is holding the spoon up, and all of a sudden, the top of the spoon bends down, and it becomes almost like liquid. And then it pops right back up, and it's just a hard, regular spoon again. Love that scene. And in that scene, the child, who is much more intuitive and, well, he's further down the rabbit hole, if you will, than Neo, but he says, do not try and bend the spoon. That is impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. This is a little child talking to Neo, and Neo says, what truth? And the child says, there is no spoon. And Neo said, there is no spoon? And the response is, then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. It's not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. Like I was saying at the beginning, challenge your own beliefs. That was challenging Neo's entire belief system about basically physics to see that happen, but the spoon doesn't bend, it's you. And to grow, we have to bend. Challenge who you are. You don't have to fit into whatever societal norms that you think that you have to. Again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I recommend reading it. They even have it on audio, so it's not like you have to read. So don't let that hold you back. Anyway, got a little bit deep this morning, but I think those thought processes are so important and so fascinating, because anybody can make a mental mindset. That's a little redundant, but that's okay. Anyone can make a change in mindset. You just have to decide to do that and then use tools to help you keep moving forward on that. So anyway, I appreciate seeing everybody this morning. Well, I guess you're seeing me, but if you found any of it interesting or enlightening, go ahead, like, comment, or share. And I'll be posting it later to my YouTube playlist as well. Also, a link to YouTube on my website, ChondraRankin.com. It's all over the place. It's out there, people. Pass it on if you want. But bend yourself. Bend yourself in some way today. And if you do bend yourself, email me how you did it. Or I guess you could just message it in here. Some of you have my email. Because I would be interested in finding that out. I'm always interested in how people go about the growth process or challenging what they've done before. I think that's kind of awesome. Anyway, that is about it. I will see you all tomorrow, and everybody have a fabulous day.